It's time to introduce our speaker for tonight. She's a great lady that has been doing the Forever business for quite a few years. She has been growing her business together with her husband. They're a dynamic couple, which I've had the privilege to meet personally many years ago. Actually, we met, I do believe we met for the first time, if it was one of the first times, in an Eagle Manager trip down in Greece, where we were hosting it. What I've noticed quite quickly is, their amazing smile, their amazing energy, how much passionate they are about Forever, how much love they give to whatever they do, and also their amazing journey. They have been growing within Forever, and they have a wonderful story to share. And actually, tonight we have Belle herself coming in, representing this incredible business. She's coming to us live from Las Vegas. So with no further ado, let's invite Belle in and let's give lots of love and appreciation to her on the chat. Thank her for taking the time and for her husband to be with us and joining us live from Las Vegas. Welcome, Belle.
Hi, Michael, and hello, everybody. Michael, thank you so much for having me here.
Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you for just accepting, the invitation we offered. And I know your story is such an incredible story. I know that you guys have been building an incredible business. You have leveled up this year. You're 3.5K qualifiers, chairman's bonus, and going for your 13th consecutive Eagle Manager qualification this year, which is amazing. It's incredible, and congratulations to both of you and our whole team there.
Thank you very much. And yeah, excited to do this for everybody tonight.
Thank you. So let's pass on the mic to you, and looking forward to seeing you at the end.
Thank you, Michael. And once again, good evening, Forever UK, Ireland, and Iceland. I am so excited to be here with all of you tonight, all the way from sunny Las Vegas. Today, I will be sharing with you my journey to becoming an Eagle Manager, and also why you should make Eagle Manager your goal in your Forever business. So just a little bit about me. Once again, my name is Belle T. Garcia. And I was born in the Philippines, born and raised there. And I moved here to the United States back in 2008. And I have lived here ever since. So just a little bit about my husband, Earl, and myself. We both have healthcare background. So I'm a physical therapist by profession. My husband, Earl, is a registered nurse here in the US. And it was always our dream and our goal to travel around the world. That's something that I'm very passionate about. And so, but of course, in our jobs, it was difficult to have the freedom to do that. And so we started a Forever business back in January of 2012. And prior to that, we had no experience in network marketing whatsoever, just in healthcare. And since then, we have been Eagle Managers 12 times already, and going on our 13th for Phuket this year. And Michael was mentioning earlier, we met in Greece, which, by the way, was one of my most favorite Eagle Managers retreat. But Michael, I think we met, just recalling when we met, I believe it was 10 years ago, 1 year before that in Cancun, during EMR as well. So what a journey it has been. So since then, when we started in 2012, and Michael has mentioned earlier, everything that we've been very grateful to achieve in Forever. It's really been a dream come true, and I'm excited to share with you the basic activities that we have been doing, that our team is doing here in the US, and also in different parts of the world, and how they have been also qualifying for Eagle Manager themselves. So let's begin with this. Why Go4Eagle? Maybe you have just started your Forever business. Maybe you're working on your very first Eagle Manager qualification, or maybe you have been Eagle in the past, or maybe you've been Eagle or qualifying for Eagle every single year. There are a lot of different reasons to go for Eagle, and I have some here on the screen. First is, if you want to build a significant monthly or annual income from your Forever business, then Eagle is definitely the way to go. We have been focusing on Eagle Manager every single year. It's definitely one of my most favorite incentives from Forever. And we've always used the incentives to propel our business forward. Of course, the icing on the cake is that travel or free, all expense paid trip, which is something I look forward to every single year. And not only with the Eagle Manager retreat that you get to travel, you also have another opportunity to travel, which is the Global Rally. And working on Eagle Manager helps you develop the habits that will create a long-lasting business. Remember, it is your habits that will create your future. And also, one thing that I love about the Eagle Manager is it teaches you to sponsor new people into the business consistently. Remember, Rita, recruiting is the answer. It's all about bringing in new people into your business every single month, every single year. And that is what will keep your business alive and going. So remember, manager is not the destination. I think that a lot of new people, when they get started in the business, they look at manager and they work so hard to get to manager. And then when they reach manager, they feel like that's it, that's the end. But it's exactly the opposite. Manager is just the beginning. Manager unlocks a new chapter in your forever journey. And once you hit manager, it is time to work on Eagle Manager, which is the next phase of your forever journey. So more reasons why to go for Eagle. Well, it helps you learn how to develop new leaders within your team, helps you create a stable income, which is, of course, what it is that we want. And not only that, Eagle Manager is actually the bridge to Chairman's Bonus. So again, unlocking more incentives in our marketing plan. If you're thinking about becoming a Chairman's Bonus qualifier, then work on being an Eagle Manager in your business. And of course, the travel is wonderful and the incentives are wonderful, but the real reward is the kind of business that you build on your way to Eagle. The real reward is the kind of person that you become on your way to becoming an Eagle Manager. So we're going to break it down tonight. I like to keep things really, really simple because the business that we have really has a simple concept. So we're going to break down as to what activities we need to do every single day to become an Eagle Manager. But before I go there, it really all starts with a decision. And until you make that decision that I'm going to be an Eagle Manager, you'll never make it there. You'll always be, having the motivation now, and then maybe tomorrow not having the same motivation, and then maybe next week, right? And then maybe not again. And so it's very difficult to reach a big goal, especially Eagle, if you have not made a decision right from the very beginning. And so that's my challenge to everybody tonight, is decide. You have to start with making a decision that I am going to be an Eagle Manager. And of course, it's not about just wanting to be an Eagle. It's also being prepared to do whatever it takes for you to be an Eagle. So let me take you back in time in 2012. This was one of our very first photos way back then. This was when we got started in Forever. I remember when I was first introduced to Forever. Actually, my husband Earl was the very first one who got to know Forever. He was still living in the Philippines at the time, back in 2003, when he was introduced to the Forever opportunity. And so when we met here in the US, and he also shared that with me, although he didn't really do the business for 9 years, actually, back in 2012, he decided to restart his Forever business here in the United States. And so I remember at the time, I was very shy. I had zero skills in network marketing. I put here low skill, but I really didn't have any skills whatsoever in network marketing. I've never been in business before. And I remember just being inspired, hearing about the stories of others. And I remember going to the very first super rally back in 2012. This was August of 2012, the very first event or big event that I went to with Forever. And I remember walking into that room and seeing all of these people from different parts of the world, and just remember, asking myself, if they can do it, why not me? If they can be Chairman's Bonus qualifier, if they can be Eagle Manager, why not me? I was so inspired looking at other people and hearing their stories. And I was also determined to grow and also determined to learn how to do it. So I want to give you a shout out for tuning in tonight. Congratulations, because it really is the first step to achieving anything big in your life, is being inspired and making that decision that I want to grow. I want to learn also how to be an Eagle Manager. And so what a journey it has been, as I've mentioned. That was our picture back in 2012 when we started. And just a few months ago, we were on the Rock the Boat cruise with the rest of the Eagle managers from all around the world. And from our team, we had 11 Eagle manager qualifiers, with Earl and myself having 4 legs of Eagles join us and qualify for this incentive. And I remember being asked, what is what is the proudest moment in my forever journey? And I would have to say, it really was bringing 11 Eagle managers with us. And I'm actually getting emotional thinking about it, because I remember at the very beginning, it was just Earl and myself qualifying, year after year. And then now to becoming this group of 11 Eagle manager qualifiers. Oh, and the smiles on our team's faces and their kids being there, creating all these wonderful memories around the world. For me, that was a huge achievement on my end, and also definitely one of the proudest achievements in our forever journey. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional talking about it, but it just makes me so happy. And I do hope that you also have that goal in your forever business, to not just be an Eagle manager yourself, but also to be able to help and be able to coach other people how to do also the same thing, and be able to duplicate yourself in your team. All right. So another proud moment also in our forever journey was definitely the level up incentive. This was the incentive that Forever launched. If you have heard about it, it is when you level up in your forever business, let's say from 1.5K to 2.5 or 2.5 to 3.5, right? And so you level up and you get to go on this amazing trip to the Dominican Republic. And last year, we were the only FBOs from the United States who qualified for Level Up. Of course, there are more this year now who qualified. But for me, wow, what an amazing experience to be there at the Aloe Fields, to see where everything started. So, if you are not aware of the Level Up incentive, go for it. It's definitely gonna be one of the highlights of your forever journey. And the way how we got to becoming a Level Up incentive qualifier was, it really all started with Eagle, and becoming an Eagle manager and developing Eagle managers in our team led us to becoming a Level Up incentive qualifier. So again, it really all boils down to becoming an Eagle manager first. So I want to start out with this quote that you see on the screen before I move on to sharing the how of the business. Look at this. It says, emptiness is the starting point. In order to taste my cup of water, you must first empty your cup. My friend, drop all your preconceived and fixed ideas and be neutral. Do you know why this cup is useful? Because it is empty. And I love this quote. It's so powerful because it teaches every single one of us to be coachable, to have a really great learning attitude. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in Forever. I mean, I have been here for 13 years now. I still consider myself a student. I still continue to learn new things. And I think that this is really the key to leveling up in your life, leveling up in your business, is starting out with that coachable spirit and having that great learning attitude. All right, so let's look at this formula. As I've said in the beginning, I like to keep things really simple. It's so important not to overthink things. The more you think, the more you doubt. The more you doubt, the less you do. The less you do, the more you think. And it's just a vicious cycle. And overthinking really is costing you thousands of dollars in bonuses. So this is a reminder to keep things really simple. So let's go back to the basics. How do you really grow a forever business? Well, it says here on the slides, when product gets moved within your organization, your business gets paid. All right, so let me repeat that. When product gets moved within your organization, your business gets paid. And so there are two ways to move products here in your business. The first is when you build your customer base. These are people who enjoy the products, they buy the products from you, and we are retailing. And personally, we have built a customer base. These are people who may not be doing the business, but they love the products and they continue to use the products. Now, the second way to move products as well is when you're building a team of forever business owners. And this is when you are recruiting people to be part of the business, and they themselves also have that opportunity to earn an income with the forever business. And so it's good to be reminded of this, that it really all boils down to these two things. Number one, you want to build a customer base. And number two, you also want to, at the same time, build a team of forever business owners. Now, for us to grow the numbers, and as you know, to reach Eagle Manager, you need 720 case credits from May 1 to April 30th. You need to develop 2 new supervisors, right? 100 case credits of the 720 has to be new CCs. And so how do we get the numbers, right? Maybe that's the question in your mind. Well, there are 3 elements that dictate your numbers. Your business isn't magical or mystical. There are real elements here that will dictate your results. I do hope that you are ready to see what these 3 elements are. Let's start with the first one. The first one is your pipeline. Now, your pipeline is simply your numbers. How many people are you connecting with and following up with? It includes how many people are you reaching out to? How many people or how many follow-ups are you doing? How many appointments are you setting? How many people are you attending? Are you inviting to attend presentations? How many one-to-ones are you setting? How many people do you talk to? Right? That is your pipeline. Your pipeline is going to be one of the main things that dictate your numbers in your business. And so why do most forever business owners struggle? It's because many people treat their forever business like a hobby instead of a real business. They reach out to a few people and hope for instant success. But in reality, about 98% of sales happen in the follow-up. It doesn't happen in that first exposure. It doesn't happen in that first conversation. So if you want to build an Eagle Manager style business, ask yourself, how many people am I reaching out to each and every week? How many follow-ups am I doing? Am I consistently growing my pipeline? So these are really good questions to ask yourself as you're growing your business. Remember, your pipeline determines your growth. And if your goal is to be an Eagle Manager, but you're only talking to maybe, let's say, 5 people a week, you might not get there. It may not, yes, you're doing it, but it may not be moving the needle in your business. So the key here is consistent daily action. Just remember to touch your business on a daily basis. Build your pipeline, continue to follow up, stay consistent, and that is how you grow in your business. Second element tonight is posture. Posture. First of all, we've got to define posture. And I love this quote on the screen. Let's read it together. It says, I have found that the best recruiters in all of network marketing are extremely postured. They're not affected by negativity. They're just not. They also don't need everyone to agree with them, accept of them, or approve of them. So let's define posture. Posture is that unshakable belief in what you have, regardless of what others accept or approve of it, regardless of external acceptance or approval. Now, I have posture when it comes to my forever business, but I didn't have posture in the beginning. And I think we all go through that phase. And so now I have learned over the years that it's so important that we have posture in our forever business, that we are not here to convince people who do not see the vision. And it has to really start with yourself, where you say, I don't need their approval, agreement, or validation. I'm not here to change their mind. And if they don't believe, right, you have to learn to be okay with it and be able to move on. And so many people in our business, they lack posture. And when, let's say, for example, somebody says, I don't think that works. And they immediately start doubting themselves, and they immediately start doubting their journey, and they immediately start doubting the opportunity, and they end up over explaining, right? So instead, of doing this, don't be defensive. Don't let skepticism shake you. Stay confident because you know what you have, right? You've been helped with the products, the opportunity. You've seen so many people's stories of them growing and being successful in forever. And so know what you have in front of you and stand firm in that belief of what you have. And so the key to strong posture, efficiency, because it is such a waste of time and it is very inefficient trying to convince people who don't believe. And if someone doesn't see the opportunity, that's okay for now. I move on. And my focus is taking action. My focus is not debating or persuading. And so instead of trying to convince people here, I just go and prove that it works. How? By taking action and getting results. And so start making money, start earning the incentives, start qualifying for the trips, help people improve their health, build a strong and successful team, get recognized on stage. Because when people see results, or some people, when they see results, they start paying attention. So stop being defensive because it wastes time and energy. Instead, be confident, stay focused, keep moving forward. Remember, your business grows when you take action, not when you try to change someone's mind. So go out there, prove the concept, and build something amazing with Forever. So that is posture. Remember, that is the second element to getting the numbers and getting the results in your business. And the third is position. Now, it's so important that you thank you so much. I'm seeing your comments here in the chat box. Keep them coming. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's move on to the third element here, position. So you have to meet your prospects where they are. You gotta meet your prospects where they are. So let's read this quote once again. It says, once you identify a prospect, you don't know if they're open to learn anymore. You don't know anything about them. You don't know if they want to buy. You don't know if they're wanting to lose weight. You don't know anything about what they want. Don't assume, ask. Don't assume, ask. And so this is a really great reminder to everybody. Where is your prospect at? What is their position? Before you try to sell anything or before you try to invite someone to your team, the first thing you need to figure out is where they are. Are they open to learning more? That's the key question there. Most people you connect with are not ready to buy or join right away. They don't know what you're offering yet, and you don't know if they even need it at this time in their lives. And that's why your first step is not to sell. Your first step is to ask. Your first step is to listen. And so start with curiosity, not a sales pitch. When you're talking to a prospect, don't jump straight into, hey, you should join my team, or hey, you need this product. Don't do that. Instead, you want to start with a simple conversation. Ask them if they're open. Ask them if they're open to learning more. Are you open to learning more about making extra income? Are you open to taking a look at what I'm doing now to earn a second income from home? Are you open to learning more? Are you open to taking a look into what I'm doing now to earn an income using social media? Are you looking for ways to have more energy? Would you be open to looking at something that could help with blank? So you see, the key here is it's not about trying to convince them. It's about seeing if they're open first. And if they are, great, that's your cue. You can give them information about Forever. But if not, then that's okay too. We're going to move on. And this really matters. Because in the absence of information, the person is at position 0. Regardless of your relationship and how close you are with this person, never assume that they're already ready for information. Always ask first if they are open. Not understanding position is one of the sources of low close rates and frustration. You're like, how come these people aren't moving forward? Well, if you ask first if they were open, and if you understood position, you would know that they were never open in the first place anyway. So this really matters, guys. And if you skip this step, you'll be wasting time pitching to people who are not open, who are not interested, and that leads to frustration. But when you understand where your prospect is first, you'll have better conversations, you'll have better connections with people, you will get better results. So before anything else, ask yourself, is this person open to learning more? What do they need? How can I serve them? If you master this, I promise you, your success will go up. And so that's it. These are the 3 elements that will dictate your results: pipeline, posture, and position. So remember these 3 P's. All right, so is this helpful to you so far? I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and type in a number 1 in the chat box right now. If so far you're getting value from this, if this is helpful to you. All right, I see your number 1s here in the chat box. That's awesome. Thank you very much for typing in your answers and for participating here. I appreciate that. All right, well, let's move on. Let's move on. There are 4 major activities as a forever business owner. And again, going back to the concept of keeping things really simple. Number 1, expanding your network. Number 2, marketing yourself and engaging in person or on social media. Third, prospecting and reaching out to see if they're open to taking a look. And number 4 is following up and keeping in touch. So remember these 4 major activities, because this list right here on the screen, you could also use this as part of your DMO, your daily method of operation as a forever business owner. You gotta have a DMO. Every business owner out there in the world has a daily method of operation. The question is, what is your DMO as an FBO? So you can use the list that you see here on the screen as your 4 major activities that you do every single day for your forever business. Let's start with number 1, expanding your network, expanding your network. You see, your success will not necessarily come from your original list of people or original contact list. It will come from the skills you gain from that list. Meaning to say, your real business begins once your original list ends. And so once we truly grasp this concept, you will never ever think I'm running out of people to talk to, because that will never happen. You are a network marketer, and part of one of your skills that you need to develop here is learning how to expand your network. Yes, your original list of names. Yes, we still have to see if they're open, right? Invite them, prospect them, great. But if it's not for them right now, that's okay. At least you were able to gain skills from every conversation that you had, preparing you for the real world, preparing you for these people that you're going to meet along the way. And it's really an exciting thing, because you probably never even met the people who will be part of your business. You've never even met the people who will be your customers in this business. It's all about making new connections. So remember, our business is, make it fun, enjoy it, because it's really about making new friends. And that is what expanding your network is about, whether this is in person or on social media. Personally, we use Facebook and Instagram in our business, and I know many in our team use Facebook and Instagram as well. More so Facebook in my experience, but again, it could be any social media platform that you wish to use. And on social media, I love meeting new people. On Facebook, for example, in Facebook groups. There's lots of Facebook groups, not necessarily business groups, but join passion groups, join hobby groups. These are people you have something in common with. There's a group for everything on Facebook, by the way. So try to explore that area, because those are places where you don't have to leave the house, and you're, even though you're just on your phone, you're able to connect with and expand your network using Facebook groups. And if you're using Instagram or TikTok or some other platform, that's awesome. But again, in social media, there is an unlimited supply of people. So here is just some examples of maybe some Facebook groups that are available out there. And Las Vegas sneakerheads. I know my husband Earl is part of that one, and he's a nurse. So there's a group also for nurses and plant lovers. If you're a plant lover as well, there are lots of plant lover groups on Facebook, by the way. And you could narrow it down and look for your niche. Who do you want to connect to? Who are the people that you have something in common with? maybe a certain brand of apparel that you wear, or maybe a dream destination. I remember we went on vacation to Alaska, and there was a group for people who want to visit Alaska, or people who want to visit Hawaii, for example. So there are lots of groups on Facebook. These are opportunities for you to meet new people. So talking about meeting new people, and I want to share with you Tina's story. Tina is actually joining us here today. She doesn't know I was going to be sharing her story, but Tina lives in Las Vegas. And just a little bit of background, she used to work at a bank here in Las Vegas, and we didn't know each other prior to all this. We just met, well, let's go back to 2020, 2022. It was the Eagle Managers Retreat. So see, an Eagle manager played a role in this, because Earl and I, we were at the airport and we were checking in for our flight to fly to Cancun for the Eagle Managers Retreat. And Tina's husband, Jojo, actually, or Gerald, Gerald works for the airline. And so we met Gerald at the airport, had a short conversation with him, really quick. And then Earl, my husband, added Gerald on Facebook. So just from that very simple conversation, he was at the counter checking us in. And so we became friends, or Earl and Gerald became friends on Facebook. Just to cut the long story short, Tina and Gerald had a joint Facebook account at that time. And Tina was actually the one, looking at Facebook and using that account. And so through Facebook and through social media, my husband Earl and Tina got connected, and through that was able to book a one-to-one presentation through a private conversation on Messenger. And then after that, and just, fast forward, doing a fast forward here for you. But then after that, she got her first Start Your Journey pack. This was back in 2023. She got started in her Forever business, May 2023. And since then, until now, it's been, what a year it has been for her, for Tina and Gerald. This picture was just taken last weekend. They were recognized on stage with Greg and Aiden, and they got the car incentive. They are already qualified for Phuket for next year. They qualified for this year. I mean, they qualified for Paris, chairman's bonus qualifier. And the reason why I am sharing this with you is to prove that you can expand your network. There are people out there that you are still yet to meet. Who's the next person you're going to impact? Because it doesn't stop with Tina. She is now growing her team. I think some of them are also here joining us in this webinar. And imagine the ripple effect that you can create just because you had the courage to talk to somebody, to start a conversation, to make a new friend, to add them on social media, right? And so you never know who's going to be that next person in your life that you're going to meet. And who knows, they will be your next Eagle manager in your business. So remember this, professional network marketers should not worry about running out of people to talk to. Finding prospects is a skill you can develop. The quality of your relationships is the quality of your life. So learn to have that mindset of abundance, that there are so many more new people that you can meet out there in the world. So that's number one, is expanding your network. I'm going to move on to the second major activity here in our business, which is marketing yourself and engaging on social media. I have a question here from Emma here. How long did it take Tina to join from the first meeting? Her husband? That's a great question. So we met Gerald in October 2022 or September 2022, and Tina bought her pack in February or March of the following year. So I would say October, November, December, January, February, March, about 5 months into the social media relationship. And prior to this, we never met in person before. So thank you for that question. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is marketing yourself and engaging on social media. because not only do you expand your network and not only do you find new people, but it's all about the relationships that you build. Remember that on social media, you can build trust. You can build relationships based on the content that you put out, based on the engagement that you have with people. Remember that on social media, you want to develop the know, like, and trust. You want people to get to know you and then like you and then trust you. And so how do you do this? How do you achieve this? Is you want to give out valuable content consistently. You don't want to be salesy on social media because that drives people away. You want to, in turn, give value. Giving value means to inspire people with your posts, to educate them on something. To entertain them, make people laugh, have a good sense of humor. People love that. And so you want to use social media as your platform to connect, to spend business time reacting, commenting, replying, engaging with people. If content is king, engagement is queen. So it's not about just putting content out there, but you also want to respond to people and engage with them. So I want to share with you another story. This is Al and Jovi's story. They're actually also here listening in our webinar today. So just a little bit of background. Al and Jovi, they're both special education teachers here in Las Vegas. And we met, Earl met Al many years ago, and they became friends on Facebook ever since. So I think they met back in 2014. So that was a long time ago. And they met and they added each other on Facebook, and they never saw each other again. So that was 2014, right? And then come 2017, Al posted on Facebook that they were moving to Las Vegas because they were still living in New Mexico at the time, which is another state. And now 2017 comes, and now they're moving to Las Vegas. So I remember Earl telling me about this, that he had a friend on Facebook who was moving to Vegas, and that he was gonna connect with them. So Earl and my husband and Al started to chat on Facebook, and it ended up we set a date that we were going out for a meal together because they were new to Las Vegas, and we wanted to talk about Las Vegas with them and show them around. And so we met for a meal. And so that was back in 2017. And through that relationship, we became friends, and then they actually started out as C9 customers. So C9, our amazing program, they started out being our customers for C9, and they used the C9 and of course got amazing results from that. And then a few months later, maybe just a month or two later on, we asked them if they were open to taking a look at the business opportunity, and they said yes to it. And that was the beginning of their forever journey. Now, just a little bit of background with Al and Jovi. They've never had any experience with business whatsoever. And again, this was their very first encounter with network marketing, first encounter with business. And they were teachers all their lives. And since then, they've learned the skills and learned, whatever we talked about today, they did it in their business also, just went back to the basics. They've been Eagle managers 4 times already. They're going on their 5th. They've been chairman's bonus 3 times in their journey. They're going to be in Paris receiving their chairman's bonus check as well. And so one of the moments, really amazing moments in their journey when we were chatting with each other was this picture right here. This was in Bali, which is the global rally in 2023. And they were able to bring both sets of parents. So from the Philippines, right? They were able to bring them to Bali on that. And, on an all expense paid trip from them for their parents. So, and they said, thank you to Forever for giving us this opportunity, because we've never done this before in our lives, let alone go on vacation, and let alone bringing the entire family with us. And that's what Forever is all about. It's about achieving dreams and making dreams happen, making them, turning them into reality. And something that you probably have a dream in your heart right now, and hold on to that, and believe that it is possible. Believe that it is possible with the Forever opportunity. And they really couldn't imagine being able to bring their parents on that trip with them, and they were able to create amazing memories with their loved ones. So think about that for you also, that you can make it happen with the Eagle Manager program. So remember, on social media, that the key is engaging and connecting with people, because I remember I told you about Alan Jovi. They were C9 customers in the beginning. It was actually from a Facebook post, because we were doing like a 9-day, I believe, like a fit challenge, because we always do that. We have a campaign in our group where we have a fit challenge at the beginning of the year, and Earl was posting his Forever Life shake, and Al asked about it, and he was asking about, what Earl was doing, what program was it, and that was the beginning. Can you imagine? It was because of social media, and the relationship, right? It's about engaging and connecting with people, building relationships, because with social media, you can do this more effectively and save yourself time. And I'm now down to the third major activity. I do hope you're still with me here, and sticking to this. Number 3 is prospecting and inviting. Prospecting and inviting. This is the gateway skill to network marketing. This is the activity that will lead you to greater wealth. It is simply reaching out to people in a conversation to see if they're open to taking a look at your opportunity. And I've been doing this for 13 years now, doing forever, and I'm still prospecting, I'm still inviting up to this day. And this is really one of the core activities that not just us, but our team is doing. And this is the reason why they've achieved Eagle Manager and Chairman's Bonus in their business also. So it's simply asking people. Remember when I talked about position in the beginning, reaching out to people to see if they're open to taking a look. Know that you're not asking them for a favor. You're actually doing them a favor by reaching out to them. Remember, posture. So now you're applying those principles that we learned in the beginning. So it's about learning how to start conversations. This does take practice, but the more you do it, the more you get better at it. And just again, keeping it simple. So again, follow these steps for prospecting. Step number 1, see if they're open by giving them by asking the question and giving them an out. Giving them an out means you say, if yes, great, but if not, no big deal. See, so that's posture. Again, you can include that in your script when you're inviting somebody, if they're open to taking a look at the business. Step number 2, if they're open, awesome. Schedule your presentation, whatever you call it. We call it the one-to-one. You schedule your one-to-one with them to be able to give them opportunity about forever. And if they're not open at the moment, that's okay. It doesn't mean it's going to be a no forever. It's probably just a no, not now. It's not the right time in their lives. And you got to learn to be okay with that. It's just important that you stay in touch, that you continue to show up on social media, because they'll be watching and plan a revisit down the road. Maybe 60 days from now, 90 days from now, you can always get back with them. And believe me, I've had people who said no to me in the beginning, and then said yes down the road, because you know what, their minds have changed, their situations have changed, and who knows, they might not be open the first time you ask them, but then the third time, the fourth time you ask them, now maybe they're open to taking a look at what it is that you have. Remember, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you will always stay in the same place. So remember, it doesn't hurt to ask. You're simply seeing who's open and who's not open for more information. So showing you here on the screen is a 1-year plan to Eagle Manager for Assistant Supervisor. If you are an assistant supervisor listening to this webinar right now, and you're probably thinking, well, Eagle Manager, that's too far away, or I'm not there yet. You may be closer than you think. Check this out. I'm showing you on the screen that even if you started in May, right? Look at this, and you're not manager yet, you can be manager, let's say, in the next 4 months. May, June, July, August. And then look at this, from August or from September all the way to April, you still have time to reach Eagle Manager in your business and go for that 720 case credit. So every single one of us listening to this webinar right now, you can be an Eagle Manager. I love what Michael said in the beginning. You got to believe in the power of your journey and believe in yourself, because look at me. I started out in the beginning, no belief, no skills, no team, no customers, to now being able to bring other people also to be an Eagle Manager. And it can happen for you as well. I remember the very first time we qualified for Eagle Manager. Oh my gosh, we were we look so young in these pictures, but this was back in 2013. I remember it was the very first time we qualified for Eagle. It was just us. We didn't have any downline Eagle managers yet at the time. We worked so hard. I remember our first year in the business, and the effort that we put in to really make it to Eagle, it was all so worth it. I don't know where we would be right now, maybe if we didn't work for Sardinia back in 2013. And so I remember in the last 2 months in the qualification, and which is very timely because now we have 3 months left. I remember in the last 2 months in our qualification for Sardinia, we still needed about at least 300 case credits to reach Eagle, which was, you know, for first time becoming an Eagle Manager, that was really, really tough. But we made a decision. And remember when I said you got to make a decision, because it starts from that decision that I'm going to be an Eagle Manager. Whatever it takes, I'm going to, even though it's tough, even though it's challenging, I'm going to make it. And even though you have 3 months left, 2 months left, you got it. In the last 3 months, I remember we still needed about 400 case credits in the last 3 months of the qualification period. But I want to tell you, it is possible. You just have to make a decision and start putting in the work. And from that year on, 2013, these are the long-term results that you see here on the screen. One of my favorites, favorite trips with Eagle, Michael, it was actually Greece. And our team knows that because we tell them all the time about our experience in Greece. We loved it. And look at all of these destinations around the world. It really is absolutely a dream come true. It was a dream that we had when we were still working in our jobs, a dream to be able to travel to many different countries around the world. And because of the Eagle Manager program, it turned into a reality. Of course, 2020 was the pandemic. So we didn't have any trips that year, but in 2021 we're so grateful to Forever because the world wasn't open yet at the time, and so there were not international travels yet. But Forever here in North America, they organized a retreat just for the Eagle Managers here, and so this is the very first Eagle Manager retreat where we had more than one and more than two downline Eagles join us. This was in Phoenix, Arizona, and wow, that was really I would say the beginning of the team really having that momentum. And I love the culture that we have here, because the Eagle Managers in the team, they're good friends, and every single year it's gonna be like, oh, I don't want to miss the fun, and I don't want to miss the experience. I want to be there at Eagle Manager Retreat. And so that's also another tip for you as a leader, is to develop a really strong culture in your team, because then when you have really strong friendships and really strong relationships, we inspire each other, we motivate each other. And that's the beauty about for the Forever business, is being able to do that for other business owners. So this was in Cancun, Eagle Manager back in 2022, an amazing experience at Moon Palace Resort together with our team. And also in 2023 in Pattaya, Thailand. And look at all of these, beautiful smiles. And again, it's about creating these memories around the world with your family, your loved ones, and your team as well. And of course, just the very recent one to Italy and Croatia with Rock the Boat, the return of the Rock the Boat, the Eagle Manager Retreat 2024. This is something that we look forward to every single year, and it's these trips that is the icing on the cake. Remember, the real prize is the kind of business that you build. The real prize is the kind of person that you want to become as you work on Eagle Manager. So there you go. So anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed those photos and those experiences. And I just want to close out with this illustration here on the screen. And I want to ask everybody a question. What do you see? Okay, and I want you to type in the chat box. What do you see in this picture? All right, so what do you see in this picture right here? And you can type your answer there in the chat. Okay. I see, all right, I see people typing in the black dot. All right, I see dot. Some people say white paper. Great, awesome, thank you. So many people, and most people, if you ask them this question, they will say that they see a black dot, and that's all that they see. You see, we tend to focus on the dark parts of our lives rather than the bright parts. When we focus on the black dots in our lives, we do not see the magnitude of the white paper. I saw some people actually say there earlier, white paper. Now, this does not mean that we do not give some energy to the black dots, but we also need to focus on the good in our lives. You know, Buddha said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. So how does this work? What we think about determines what we focus on. And what we focus on becomes our beliefs about that world, which in turn determines how we feel. How we feel influences our actions. How we feel influences how we act, which then determines our thoughts. So we have to be very careful. We have to watch that voice inside of us that can be critical, deciding if that voice is our friend or our enemy. Imagine having someone in your life that was with you all the time, judging you and telling you you can't do it. That's too difficult for you. You'll never make it to Eagle Manager. Do you recognize any of these voices? I am sure that if you treated a friend this way, you told that all those things to a friend, they would not stick around for long. So a lot of times we are the ones telling ourselves all of these negative thoughts. You can't do it. That's too difficult. You'll never make it to Eagle. And so here is my challenge to you today. Be your own best friend. Be your own best friend. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Where do you think your negative thoughts are going to get you? They're a waste of time and energy. You are responsible for your thoughts, for your feelings, for your actions. Own them and make the choice to be kind to yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself. Then it will be easier for you to be kind and compassionate towards others. You know, Robin Sharma said, what you focus on grows. What you think about expands. And what you dwell upon determines your destiny. And Zig Ziglar once wrote, when you focus on problems, you get more problems. When you focus on the possibilities, you have more opportunities. So I'm going to ask you again, what do you see in this picture? You know, a lot of people may say they see a black dot, but don't forget the white piece of paper all around, that big white piece of paper around the black dot. In the white paper, there is freedom. In the white paper, there is abundance. There is opportunity. There is travel. There is income. There is time. That is what is on that white paper. Remember, yes, pay attention to the black dots, but don't let the black dots control your life, whatever those black dots may be. After all, we are surrounded by a lot of white. So I want you to imagine right now being in Phuket. Just for a moment, look at the screen right here. I want you to visualize yourself on that beach, on that cabana, and on the island. Imagine being there with your loved ones, being there with your team, having an amazing time. Imagine the feeling to be there and saying, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I made the decision to be an eagle. I'm glad that I didn't allow the negative thoughts come in my way. I'm glad I didn't listen to those voices who told me it couldn't be done. I'm glad I made the decision, and I'm glad I'm here today. So I want you to imagine and visualize yourself being there, because visualization is so important. It's so powerful. You can do this every night before you go to bed. You can do it in the morning when you wake up, and have it as a wallpaper on your phone. And that way you see it every single day, and it will remind you of what your goal is, and that is to be an eagle manager. So I have good news for you. You can be an eagle manager. Do you believe this? Do you believe this, that you can be an eagle manager? And that's good news. And I do hope you receive this good news with all of your heart. Remember, it all starts with a decision to say, I'm going to be an eagle. And remember, be prepared to do whatever it takes. So thank you everyone for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and let's grow together. I will see you all in Phuket.
Belle, no words to describe of gratitude that we all feel. And I know the chat is lighting up of telling you how grateful we are of having you here tonight, inspiring us, enlightening us, giving us the belief to go and achieve it. You guys have had an amazing story, and we're so proud of you. I mean, you're an incredible example to the whole world of Forever out there. So thank you so much. And of course, guys, let's give it up for Belle and Earl for coming in tonight and sharing and giving us so much love.